I would like to say, like, you making jokes about mental health is your truth. Like, no one can tell you how to, like, deal with your own internal trauma other than you. Like, people try and sit here and tell me, like, you shouldn't be talking about OCD in such, like, a fun light. Like, and I don't talk about it in, like, a fun light, but I'll be like, hi, I'm Kalista, I have severe OCD, I'm 23 years old. And, like, I don't always portray it in, like, this, like, super gloomy light, because at the end of the day, like, it's my life and I have to live with it. And, like, the narrative I put in my head is going to be the narrative I see it as. And so, like, at some point I have to accept that it's my truth, and, like, I can talk about it how I please. Like, I can talk about the good and the bad, and, like, it is who I am. So,
but also how you've made it digestible for a certain group of people. So there's some people, and that's actually how I see my comedy, is that some people do not want me to joke about my brother being bipolar, don't want me to joke about anxiety, or like I'm dyslexic, and I throw myself under the bus all the time, but that's how I've healed. That's how I live with it. That's how I feel good about myself. And there are people that's the only way they also feel good about it. But if it feels dismissive to you, or it doesn't feel like I'm taking it seriously, then I'm not the person for you. But that doesn't mean how I'm talking about it doesn't have value.
Yeah.
So really what I've always thought what was positive, both about as a stand-up comedian, but also positive about the internet, because there's so much negativity about the internet. Yeah. But what is positive about it is just a way to find your people quicker. Mm-hmm. And it is word of mouth quicker. And it is connection quicker. How else would you be reaching so many teenagers and so many young adults if you weren't being a teenager and a young adult yourself, and kind of dressing it up in a little bit of glitter and flair, because some people aren't ready to just have a gloomy conversation, or don't want to have a gloomy conversation about it. So I think the fact that you are uniquely yourself and saying it the way you are, you're connecting with the exact people that wanted to hear it that way, or had to hear it that way.
And I think, like, too, like, my mom always says to me, like, you can't always just talk about things in a negative light, because, like, people need to see that there's, like, a life after treatment. Like, when I first started talking about OCD, it was always, and I would get comments about it too, being like, you always talk about the severity and just, like, how bad it is. Like, you should, you know, lead with some sort of light and show people, like, there is recovery. And, like, that's something I focused more on my content within the past 2 months, is, like, showing that there is, like, life once you get treatment, and that it's not so horrible. Like, I will deal with, like, obsessive thoughts and intrusive thoughts my whole life. Like, it's never going away. But at the same time, like, that doesn't mean I can't live, like, a fulfilled life.